China just dropped an open-weights AI model that is putting OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google on absolute notice. What you are looking at right now is a real-time side-by-side code generation benchmark testing three flagship models: Claude Fable 5, GPT-5.6 Sol, and Moonshot AI's brand new Kimi K3. Look at Kimi K3 in the center panel. From a single prompt, it didn't just write basic HTML canvas code, it built an entire 2D space shooter with dynamic wave progression, weapon power-ups like rapid fire and triple shot, hitbox collision physics, and clean UI state management. While Fable 5 and GPT 5.6 Sol struggle with stutter and logic loops, Kimi K3 breezes through 5 complete game levels without dropping a single frame. This is Kimi K3, a massive 2.8 trillion parameter reasoning engine officially released by Beijing-based Moonshot AI. And here's the kicker. They are releasing this as an open weights model. That's right, open weights on a 3 trillion class architecture. Moonshot has been quietly pushing the frontier of open source AI scaling, and with K3, they just completely disrupted the closed source monopoly. Kimi K3 isn't just a text or code model, it features native end-to-end multimodal vision built directly into its architecture. Check out this multimodal video generation benchmark comparing Anthropic's Claude Opus 5 against Kimi K3. When prompted to generate a dynamic 3D commercial for a cereal brand, Opus 5 struggles with lighting consistency and fluid motion. Kimi K3, on the other hand, renders high-speed liquid splash physics, volumetric lighting, milk stream dynamics, and a fully consistent 3D mascot package without a single visual glitch. Let's look under the hood at the spec sheet on Kimi.com because the underlying architecture is pure engineering art. Kimi K3 packs 2.8 trillion total parameters with a full 1 million token context window. It runs on a hypersparse stable latent mixture of experts framework. Out of 896 total experts, only 16 experts activate per token. That means inference runs at roughly 50 billion active parameters, giving you frontier-grade intelligence at blistering speeds. Plus, Moonshot integrated Kimi Delta Attention, a hybrid linear attention mechanism that delivers a 2.5 times efficiency boost over Kimi K2, allowing you to feed entire code repos into memory without hitting latency bottlenecks. Now, if you want to deploy these frontier models into actual high-value business workflows, this is where my community comes in. Inside AI Money Forge, our free Skool community, we don't just talk about AI news, we build real functional agent systems every single week. Right here on screen, you can see our community classroom. I give you instant access to complete monthly vaults, implementation SOPs, and step-by-step blueprints. Here is our latest guide showing you how to pair GLM 5.2 and Kimi K3 with Hermes agents, setting up specialized agent roles for research, technical writing, SEO, and building. The link is in the description below. It's completely free to join, so grab the templates and start building with us. You can also check out the Forge Arsenal at theforgearsenal.com, my custom directory built for practical AI builders. Use our ProFlight assessment tool to test whether a repetitive task in your business is ready for automation before spending money on software. You get 3 free starter blueprints for research briefs, content repurposing, and lead qualification, plus our curated directory highlighting top tools like Claude Code, OpenClaw 2.0, MCPs, and agent frameworks like Crew AI and LangGraph. Everything is tested and verified so you never waste money on hype. Look at how K3 stacks up on industry benchmarks. It scores 91.2% on BrowseComp, 30.8% on Automation Bench, and 95.0% on Deep Search QA, outperforming Claude Fable 5, GPT 5.6 Sol, and Opus 4.8 across complex research and coding tasks. K3 also introduces an agent swarm feature, spinning up to 300 sub-agents under a single prompt to coordinate up to 4,000 steps at 4.5 times faster execution. During internal testing, K3 accomplished feats that broke brains. It designed its own custom microchip in 48 hours, wrote its own Triton GPU compiler from scratch, and compressed 2 weeks of astrophysics research into just 2 hours. Best of all, pricing is insanely competitive. $3 per million input tokens, dropping down to just 30 cents per million for cash tokens with a 90+% cash hit rate, and $15 per million output tokens. Now let's test Kimi K3 on complex 3D spatial reasoning using WebGL and 3.js. Here we have another three-way benchmark: Kimi K3 versus Fable 5 versus GPT 5.6 Sol, generating an interactive low-poly city driving simulation. Notice how Kimi K3 handles spatial pathfinding, car movement physics, camera tracking, and town asset placement like buildings, roads, and windmills. Fable 5 stutters with collision geometry, and GPT 5.6 breaks camera perspective, while Kimi K3 builds a fully playable 3D driving environment right out of the box. Next, let's look at local physics simulation inside Atomic Chat, comparing Grok 4.5 against GLM 5.2. Running 3D physics locally requires massive real-time token throughput. Watch these 4 simulation grids, from monster truck arena car crushing to ramp jumping, bridge structural collapses, and crane lifts. Both models process complex physical constraints and gravity logic live on screen. Finally, let's look at a real-world web app generation benchmark, building an interactive 3D stadium ticket selector in WebGL. On the top, Fable 5 generates a static stadium outline with basic section buttons. But look at Kimi K3 on the bottom. It constructs an entire 3D soccer stadium with dynamic lighting, crowd seating, an interactive section picker, and smooth camera transitions that zoom directly from an overhead stadium view down to pitch level. It handles section state changes, updates ticket prices dynamically, and maintains full 60 frames per second rendering. Kimi K3 is proof that open-weight frontier models are rapidly closing the gap on closed-source AI. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the link in the description to join our free AI Money Forge School community to grab all the code files, agent blueprints, and SOPs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next build.